Right now, someone, somewhere, is trying to scam you, and the tactics they're using are older than civilization itself. Scams have evolved with every major leap in technology, and today we're facing the most advanced versions in human history. To understand how we got here, we need to go back, way back.
Let's rewind thousands of years. The earliest scams happened in ancient markets. Merchants using false weights, watering down precious metals, or selling fake medicines. In ancient Egypt, we even find records of forged documents and fraudulent land claims. The Greeks wrote about traveling tricksters selling miracle cures or posing as holy men. How people thought. Back then, trade relied on honor. Cheating wasn't just a crime, it was seen as an attack on the gods of justice and commerce. Scammers were viewed as cursed, dishonorable, and dangerous to society. Punishments. Ancient laws were brutal. In Mesopotamia, using false weights could get your hand cut off. In Greece, fraud could lead to exile or heavy fines. In Egypt, forgers could be sentenced to forced labor. Even in the ancient world, one truth was clear. If you control information, you control the victim. As Europe entered the Middle Ages, scams became more elaborate. One of the biggest industries? Fake religious relics. People bought bones of saints, pieces of the true cross, and holy water that was just water. Coin clippers shaved tiny bits of metal off coins. Impersonators posed as messengers from noble families to collect money or goods. How people thought. People were deeply religious and desperate for miracles. Buying relics wasn't just commerce, it was hope. Scammers exploited faith, fear, and superstition. Punishments. Fake relic sellers could be publicly whipped or shamed. Coin clippers were often executed because tampering with currency was considered treason. Impersonators could be branded or mutilated. To medieval people, scammers weren't just thieves, they were spiritual criminals. Between the 1500s and 1800s, global trade exploded, and so did fraud. One of the most famous scams was the Spanish prisoner scam. A letter claiming a wealthy noble was imprisoned and needed money to escape, promising a huge reward later. Sound familiar? It's the ancestor of today's Nigerian prince email scam. This era also gave us fake lotteries, forged signatures, and investment scams promising riches from new lands across the ocean. How people thought. The world felt full of opportunity. People wanted to believe in easy wealth, exotic lands, and hidden fortunes. Scammers sold dreams. Punishments. Fraudsters could be put in stocks, branded, or imprisoned. Some were forced to publicly confess their crimes. But many simply moved to a new town and started again. The 1800s changed everything. The printing press, postal system, and newspapers allowed scammers to reach more people than ever. This era gave us chain letters, fake job offers, patent medicines claiming to cure everything, early Ponzi-style schemes. How people thought. Victorians were obsessed with progress, science, and invention. That made them vulnerable to miracle cures and revolutionary investments. The charming, well-dressed con artist became a cultural icon. Punishments. Some scammers were jailed, but many slipped through the cracks. Fraud laws were inconsistent, and police forces were still developing. For the first time, scams weren't just about stealing money, they were about stealing trust. As technology advanced, so did scams. The telephone became a powerful tool for fraud. Scammers pretended to be banks, government officials, or companies. Mail-order scams promised products that never arrived. Door-to-door scammers sold fake insurance, fake repairs, or fake charity collections. Pyramid schemes spread rapidly, disguised as business opportunities. How people thought. People trusted institutions, banks, government, the postal service. Scammers exploited that trust by impersonating authority. Punishments. Telephone fraud became a serious offence with long prison sentences. Door-to-door scammers were often arrested for impersonation or theft. The key shift was distance. Scammers no longer needed to meet victims face to face. Then came the internet, and scams entered a new era. In the late 90s and early 2000s, people were excited and completely unprepared. Email phishing exploded. Fake antivirus pop-ups infected computers. eBay and PayPal scams tricked people into paying for items that didn't exist. Chat rooms became hotspots for romance scams, and the Nigerian prince scam made a massive comeback, now delivered instantly to millions. How people thought. The internet felt safe, anonymous, and full of opportunity. People didn't yet understand digital danger. Punishments. Cybercrime laws were weak at first. Many early scammers operated with almost no consequences. Eventually, governments created new laws, but enforcement was slow. The internet gave scammers something they never had before: global reach at zero cost. By the mid-2000s, smartphones and social media changed everything again. Scammers could now target you through text messages, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, fake ads, fake customer service accounts. Delivery scans, tech support scans, and impersonation scans became common. Crypto scams exploded. Fake investments, rug pulls, Ponzi schemes disguised as trading platforms. Romance scans became more sophisticated, using emotional manipulation and long-term grooming. How people thought. People trusted social media profiles, online reviews, and digital identities, not realizing how easy they were to fake. Punishments. Modern scammers face cybercrime charges, but many operate overseas, making prosecution difficult. Scams became personalized, tailored to your fears, your habits, your data. And now we're in the AI era, the most dangerous phase in scam history. AI can generate perfect phishing emails, deep fake voices that sound like your family, fake videos of real people, chatbots posing as customer service, entire fake companies. Scammers can automate thousands of attacks at once, and because AI makes everything look real, the old red flags are harder to spot. How people think now. We assume technology is accurate. If it looks real, it must be real, right? AI breaks that assumption. Punishments. AI-powered scams are so new that laws are still catching up. Many scammers face no consequences, yet. We're entering a world where you can't trust your eyes, your ears, or even your own memory. Conclusion. The pattern that never changes. When you look at the history of scams, one thing becomes clear. Scams evolve with technology, but the psychology behind them stays the same. Scammers use fear, urgency, greed, trust, and secrecy, the same tricks they used thousands of years ago. The tools change, the tactics don't. And that's why understanding the history of scams helps us understand the scams of today. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe to Scam Decoded for weekly videos on scams, red flags, and how to stay safe online.